being in the excited, happy state, there's less words for the positive descriptors and more words for negative descriptors.
Mm.
Like it goes back to like our old brain and like we're always on the lookout for something that might eat us or kill us, except we don't have saber-toothed cats and all of those things running around us anymore. Now it's like a nasty person on social media and our brain can't make that adjustment. So it goes into that negative protective state. And it's that's a separate podcast. I won't bore everyone into that, but I find it really, really
Oh,
fascinating.
interesting. It is fascinating because I think it goes to show where our focus is unless we're intentional about making it otherwise. And so
100%.
at that point, when you were on your floor, you had your like meltdown moment, your quarter life crisis, if you will, and then went into I'm going to like make this change, did the work, then what?
I realized like I found a career in that shift. I found something that I enjoy doing. So I became a financial advisor and people are like, that's a big shift from film. And I'm like, yes and no. I mean, I was still managing people and managing money. And now I'm doing the same thing, except I'm managing people and managing investments instead of money. But I'm still empowering people and I'm helping them create a good money story as opposed to just any story.
Mhm.
So, I mean, there's a lot of crossover. And then while I was on that path to become a financial advisor, I did a lot of workshops. I still do a lot of workshops, but I had women come out to me and go, "Oh my God, are you a life coach?" And I'm like, what the heck is that? Like, I'm sorry, I have to tell you how to get up in the morning and like make your bed. Like, what am I coaching you on? I'm like, I just remember being this really weird. I was like, no, but thanks, I think. And I had multiple people. Like it was never just one person. I had multiple people at like every other workshop I did ask me if I did that. And I'm like, okay, I should look into whatever the heck this thing is because obviously there's some synergy or something that's happening here that people are like, oh, and I remember looking it up and I'm going, I still don't understand what the heck this is.
So many things.
I know. I mean, it's so many things to so many different people and so many levels. And then I came across a business coach and I went,
Mhm.
okay, now that I can relate to, because when I did film, I did 40 something businesses, right? Each film is, well, okay, if you don't know, each film is its own separate business entity.
Mhm.
So like creating the LLC, hiring crew, like working with your lawyer, your usually legal team, unless it's a smaller one, but you're legal, and then with your accounting and like, creating all of that. I did it like 40 something times. And I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, well, business I can talk about, business I get, distribution I get. Film has a huge distribution process. I get all that stuff. So why don't I look at that? And I did. So I started doing like coaching, workshops and certifications and trying to figure out, I mean, it's still kind of murky-ish waters, but trying to figure out where that fits. And then I found what I loved. I found that the women that went through a rough experience like I did, that are trying to get back into the workforce, that's who I'm going to work with. I'm going to be a business coach for mamas.
I love
And
that. I think it's wonderful to see like how people happen upon their purpose or what gives them life, like what fuels their fire, right?
yeah.
Because oftentimes in retrospect, you realize one, it's not necessarily what you thought it would be,
Oh,
and
100%.
you needed at some point in life. And
Mhm.
you had to like hit that spot or be put in a certain situation for that to come out of you.
Yeah, if nothing had happened, I would be making films right now.
So tell me about that loss of identity. Let's go back to that moment
Sure.
because there's one thing to do the work to get out of it, but like, how was the shedding of that? And do you still look back
Ooh.
and think about that cat?
When you become a mom,
Mhm.
you actually physically have a change in your brain. Which I, again, geek moment, but I own it and I'm proud of it. But I literally researched and found one study that talked about the change in moms' brains. One.
Mhm.
Hundreds of studies on the brain. I found one that focused on how women's brains change when they become pregnant, and it covered up to 2 years after, right?
Mm.
Our brains actually physically shrink a little bit. But the thing is they noticed is It's not that we got worse at something or dumb or whatever. Our brains got more efficient. We got more efficient in reading other people and reading cues. And it all comes back to we have to read a baby that can't talk to us.
Mhm,
You know,
mhm.
so we get really aware of social cues.